This is a exercise and an explanation of the basic left hand position. There are two things we do with string instruments, basically. One is we play scales and we go across the strings this way, and the other one is we play chords. When we play chords, we have to move our left hand around a lot to balance all the fingers. But when we play scales, what we would really like is to have a hand with four equally talented fingers covering, able to cover four frets, maybe five. What we don't want is a crippled looking hand that can only use a couple of fingers and has to move around a lot to make up for its lack of strength and agility. So, this is a very basic way of getting a good left hand position and the first exercise to help you maintain it. To get a good left hand position, start somewhere about the 5th or 6th fret and simply curl your fingers over the top of the neck lightly. Your thumb should be pointing straight up at the ceiling. Now, move your fingers, slide everything down, fingers, thumb, everything, and put your first finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And you should be able to very easily line your fingers up at frets 5, 6, 7, and 8. Each of your fingers should be on its tip, meaning that your fingernail is perpendicular to the neck, pointing straight into the neck. All the joints are curved and all the fingers are on point. Your thumb is directly behind your fingers. Ideally, it is halfway between your first and second finger, so in this case, it would be directly behind the 5th fret. This is the hand position you'd like to be able to maintain. We do this in the middle of the neck where the frets are closer together and there's less tension on the string. So, that process one more time. Curl your fingers over the top of the neck. Your thumb is pointing up at the ceiling. Bring all of your fingers down and put your first finger at the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And then line your fingers up 1, 2, 3, 4, so that your pinky is on the 8th fret, your ring finger is on the 7th, your middle finger is on the 6th, and your index is on the 1st. Now, I'm going to show you this exercise in first position because it's easier to see, but then we're eventually going to come back up here and start it. This is a very simple exercise designed to give you equal use of all your fingers and to help you build the muscles and the experience to maintain this hand position. So we're going to go back to the 1st fret. It doesn't matter what string you do it on, I'm going to do it on the 3rd. And what we're going to play 8 notes. The first note is the open string. We will always come back to an open string. First finger, 1st fret, second finger, 2nd fret, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 4th finger, 4th fret. And as we have added fingers, we have left them on the string. So now I have 4 fingers across 4 frets. And now I'm going to reverse the process and pick the fingers up one at a time. So I pick up the 4th finger and play the note that's on the 3rd fret, pick up the 3rd, play the note that's on the 2nd, pick up the 2nd, play the note that's on the 1st, pick up the 1st, and play the open string. So, let's go back to the 5th fret. That's the pattern, I'm sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it fits neatly into 4 time. So, the way to help build this is to start up here. We found our hand position. Our first finger is on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. So now, it's just a finger pattern. Don't worry about notes. It's never going to sound pretty. You're going to play the open string. First finger, 5th fret. Second finger, 6th. 3rd finger, 7th. 4th finger, 8th. You've left your fingers down. And then reverse the process, picking them up one at a time until you're back to the open string. And you want to make sure as you put your fingers down, that you are keeping all your fingers rounded. Your finger is coming down in direct contact with the string, the fret, and the neck. You are touching the fret with every finger. You're not coming down between the frets, you are touching the fret. Okay, so then the exercise, once you feel like you can get your fingers to do what you want them to do, is every time you get back to the open string, you open your hand like you open a C-clamp. The fingers come slightly off the neck, the thumb comes slightly off the neck. You move your hand without contact of the strings, back a fret, and put them down. And then repeat the exercise. So, 4, 3, 2, open string, open your hand, move it to the 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, making sure that you're making contact with all the frets, open back to the 3rd fret, open 2nd fret, all the while making sure that your fingers are making the adjustments to spread to ever widening fret distances. So now here is an exercise that once you get it going, you can practice for finger independence. You're only moving one finger at a time. You can practice for speed. You can go up and down a string. You can go across strings. Etc. But in the beginning, always start high on the neck and work your way back. So I will show you some more tricks to do with this, but in the meanwhile, if this is the first exercise to build a good left hand position, it will not happen today, it will not happen tomorrow. But if you do this exercise a couple of minutes a day, if you do it while you're watching the ball game, during commercials, it will happen much more quickly, and it will allow you to build it into your hand position. These are all muscles, and they have to be trained. Okay, good luck.